Silver is continuing to defy the top callers, the haters, the naysayers. Yes, we almost touched 67 recently. Right now, we're approaching $66. And in Aussie dollars, for example, it's already traded above $100. We're going to look at what that means for the Australian dollar. Well, going forward and what has happened as well since, let's say, the late 60s there. Silver's at 65.80. It's up about 30 cents. That's the spot price. The high's been 66.04. We're still seeing a lot of slams in the price of silver. According to David Jensen, the supply shortage is intensifying. He wrote something yesterday. I'm going to put it down in the description, a link. And he says, market signals of intensifying global silver shortage driving silver's price rapidly higher.
Mario Innecco breaks down silver's continued defiance of critics as tightening supply and elevated lease rates push prices toward historic levels. Silver continues to confound top callers, skeptics, and longtime naysayers as prices remain resilient near recent highs. After nearly touching 67, silver is now trading around $65.80 on the spot market, up roughly 30 cents with an intraday high of 66.04. Despite repeated price slams, the metal has refused to break down, signaling mounting stress in the physical market. Before we continue to discuss this, please subscribe to our channel and activate the bell icon for timely updates. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Silver's at 65.80. It's up about 30 cents. That's the spot price. The high's been 66.04. We're still seeing a lot of slams in the price of silver, and I bet you that's got something to do with the bullion banks. But I'm hearing from my very good sources that central banks, especially non-Western central banks, are still buying a lot of silver. They're still buying a lot of gold as well. So yes, gold and silver, I feel, is still unloved or hated by the general public. They don't even know it's there and that it's doing well, nor the miners. I think it seems to me the only people who kind of appreciate the prospects for gold and silver are people like us, who are rabid sound money proponents, and also central bankers and very wealthy individuals that are not necessarily like sound money people, but they want to protect their wealth. So I think it's still early days, and according to David Jensen, the supply shortage is intensifying. He wrote something yesterday. I'm going to put it down in the description, a link. And he says, market signals of intensifying global silver shortage driving silver's price rapidly higher. So he says here, would silver's price up 120% in 2025? Market observers might expect a price pullback as marginal new supply of metal from recycling or investors taking fiat currency profit is brought to market. However, silver's spot or cash price today is surging above the March 2026 futures price on the COMEX, CME COMEX New York market in what is called backwardation, right? Signaling a physical supply shortage in the market. So what does that mean? Well, usually the precious metals market is in contango. The spot price is lower than the futures price because of the cost of storage, the cost of carry, i.e. how much interest you're giving up by having silver or gold. So when it's in backwardation, it means that buyers of silver want the silver now. They don't want to buy it forward because they don't trust the sellers. They don't trust the market to have that physical silver. So they want it now, the physical. They can't wait. And so the spot price for let's say 1 or 2 days delivery becomes higher than the futures price, and that's called backwardation. That's a symptom of shortage and lack of faith and confidence in the supply. He says, with London Silver's implied lease rate tenors now generally ranging from 7% and 8% compared to -0.5% to +0.5% when physical demand is abundant, we can see a second confirmation of reported global shortage of this vital monetary safe haven and strategic metal. Yes, there's talk about Samsung. I spoke to John Little back in October. They have this solid state battery for EVs. It contains as much as a kilo of silver for each car. So can you imagine? And the range on these for these batteries is 600 to 900 miles, and it only takes something like 5 to 9 minutes to charge these cars. So this could be revolutionary. This solid state battery needs a lot of silver. I think it's coming online as a commercial thing in about a year or two. So it's getting very close. And we're hearing that Samsung is buying silver directly from mines. So David Jensen concludes in his article, what is the best option for the buyer of a pig in a poke silver contract? Well, the best option for an early mover is to sell his London cash spot contract and to scour world markets for physical silver, allowing immediate direct physical delivery. Because the scale of the pool of London cash contract holders is in the billions of ounces, the actual 2026 silver supply deficit estimated by Swiss bank UBS at 300 million ounces appears likely to be multiples of that level, as already intense buying of physical silver escalates due to this added demand factor. And he says, we may therefore not see any meaningful abatement in the rise of silver's price, even as chart watchers claim the silver is overbought. But a parabolic price increase amid a quickly intensifying global scramble for silver delivery. Gold. Well, gold's doing pretty well as well. We got up to very near the all-time high yesterday at 43.80. I think the high was 43.75. And then we came back down. But as I said, I think not just for silver, but for gold, it's still a hated sector, the precious metals sector. So that's why I think it's nowhere near being a top. I think it's not a matter of months or even a year until it tops and the bull market is over. I think we have years to go in this bull market. That the market doesn't buy this CPI number and doesn't buy this mantra that inflation has been solved, the inflation problem, is the fact that when I look at the Treasury yield curve this morning, and it's about 8 a.m. London time, well, the 10-year yield is pretty much where it was before that CPI number. It's at 414. The 30-year as well is around 483. So keep an eye on long-term bond yields or treasury yields. I don't think the market buys this story that the inflation problem has been solved. It's anything but solved. So back to silver, and we're going to look at Australia first. And yes, the dollar has hit 100, $100 silver. Well, down under it is 100, and it's a bad sign for the Aussie dollar. Well, right now the price of silver in Aussie dollars has come back a little bit. It's at 99.55, just below 100. The high, though, a couple of days ago was 101.21, and I think that high, unfortunately, is going to be breached.